Picture this. I land in Lagos, Nigeria, a city that's a whirlwind of colors, sounds, and life. The moment I step off the plane, I can feel the pulse of the city. It's like stepping into a different world, one that's alive and buzzing with energy. The city greets me with a vibrant electric energy that's almost palpable. Everywhere I look, there's movement, there's life. The streets are filled with colorful buses, bustling markets, and people going about their day with a sense of purpose. The air buzzes, the streets hum, and the people radiate a spark that's impossible to ignore. It's a city that's alive in every sense of the word, and I can't wait to dive in and explore. My mission: experience the real Lagos in one day with just $50 American. It sounds like a tall order, but I'm up for the challenge. People said it was impossible. $50 in Lagos? Good luck. But I've always believed that the true essence of a city is found on its streets, not in luxury hotels or fancy restaurants. So I'm hitting the streets, ready to discover the heart and soul of Lagos. No fancy hotels, no expensive meals. Just me, my $50, and a sense of adventure. My plan? Ride the iconic yellow Danfo buses that are the lifeblood of the city's transport system. Get lost in the bustling markets where every stall tells a story, and eat food that would make me question every other meal I've ever had. The flavors, the spices, the aromas, it's all part of the experience. This wasn't about surviving, it was about thriving, proving that adventure doesn't need a big budget. It's about finding joy in the little things and making the most of every moment. My $50 became a key, unlocking a different kind of adventure. Each Naira note felt like a ticket to a new experience, a new story waiting to be told. Each Naira note felt like a ticket to a new experience. It was more than just money. It was a way to connect with the city and its people. I wasn't just a tourist. I was an explorer on a quest to soak in the culture. I wanted to hear the stories, taste the food, and feel the rhythm of Lagos. The sun was already warming the streets as I stepped out, notebook in hand, ready for anything. The day was full of promise, and I was eager to see where it would take me. The smell of street food promised a day full of flavor. Each dish was a new adventure, a new taste of Lagos. This wasn't just about stretching a budget, it was about stretching myself, pushing my limits and seeing how far I could go with just $50. I wanted to connect with the raw, beautiful spirit of Lagos, to see the city through the eyes of its people and understand what makes it so special. The challenge was set, and my heart was pounding with anticipation. Could I really do Lagos on $50? There was only one way to find out. Could I really do Lagos on $50? The question lingered in my mind, but I was determined to find out. There was only one way to find out. I took a deep breath, stepped into the morning, and let the city pull me in. I took a deep breath, stepped into the morning, and let the city pull me in. The adventure was about to begin. The adventure was about to begin. $50 one day and a city that never sleeps. $50 one day and a city that never sleeps. Let's see how far it can take me. Let's see how far it can take me. The journey starts now. First up, transportation. In a city as alive as Lagos, getting around is an adventure in itself, and it all starts with the heartbeat of the streets. In Lagos, that means the iconic yellow Danfo bus. Those bright yellow minibuses you see weaving through traffic, horns blaring, doors swinging open as they pick up passengers on the go. I flagged one down, squeezed in, and instantly became part of the city's morning pulse. The bus was packed, elbows brushing, laughter echoing, and everyone seemed to know exactly where they were headed. The fare? Barely a dent in my budget. Just a few Naira handed to the conductor, and I was on my way, blending in with the daily commuters. Inside, Afrobeats thumped from a tiny speaker, people chatted in a mix of English and Yoruba, and the driver navigated the chaos with a confidence that only comes from years behind the wheel. I watched the city fly by, skyscrapers glinting in the sun, bustling markets overflowing with color, and women in vibrant head wraps balancing baskets with effortless grace. After the ride, it was time for breakfast. The air was thick with the scent of fresh bread and frying eggs, drawing me toward the roadside stalls. I found a roadside stall selling ajej bread, soft, sweet, legendary. This bread is a Lagos staple, famous for its pillowy texture and slightly sweet taste. Paired with a fried egg and hot tea, it was the perfect start. The egg was fluffy, the tea strong, and the bread soaked up every flavor. The cost? Almost nothing, but the satisfaction was huge. For just a handful of coins, I had a breakfast that filled me up and made me feel right at home. Sitting on a plastic stool, I soaked in the sounds and smells of Lagos waking up. The clatter of pans, the sizzle of oil, and the hum of conversation all around me. The woman selling bread smiled warmly. A man nearby struck up a conversation about football and music. It was easy to feel like a local, even if just for a moment. This was the real Lagos, unfiltered, alive, and welcoming. Every face told a story. Every street corner buzzed with possibility. My $50 felt like $1 million. Here, even a small budget could unlock big experiences. I had a full stomach, a new friend, and the whole day ahead. The city's energy was contagious, and I couldn't wait to see what else was in store. The city was opening up to me, one bite and one bus ride at a time. Every moment felt like an invitation to dive deeper. I realized the best experiences are often the simplest. Sometimes all you need is good food, good company, and a little curiosity. With breakfast done, I was ready for whatever came next. The city felt less intimidating now, more like a place of endless opportunity. Lagos was already proving everyone wrong. It wasn't just about surviving on a budget, it was about thriving, discovering, and connecting. On this budget, I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving. Every naira spent brought a new story, a new flavor, a new friend, and the adventure was just getting started. With the city waking up around me, I knew there was so much more to explore. Next stop, Balogun Market, the beating heart of Lagos commerce. The moment I entered, I was swept into a whirlwind of color, sound, and hustle. Alleyways overflowed with fabrics, shoes, electronics, anything you could imagine. Vendors called out, haggling was an art form, and every corner buzzed with life. I bought a beaded bracelet for luck, a tiny treasure from the chaos. Leaving the market, my senses were buzzing and my respect for Lagos hustle was sky high. Balogun isn't just a market. It's a living, breathing universe, and I was lucky to be part of it, even for a moment. After the market's chaos, I craved nature, so I headed to Lekki Conservation Centre. The entrance fee was a small splurge, but the reward was priceless. The canopy walk, Africa's longest, swayed above lush greenery, offering peace and a new perspective. Monkeys leapt through the trees, tortoises lumbered below, and the city's noise faded away. Wandering the boardwalks, I breathed in fresh air and marveled at this green oasis. Just hours ago, I was lost in a market maze. Now I was surrounded by nature. Lagos is a city of contrasts, urban energy and wild tranquility. My $50 adventure was richer than I'd imagined. The city's diversity was on full display. I left Lekki recharged, ready for the next chapter. Lagos had shown me its wild heart. Hunger hit. It was time for the main event, jollof rice. After a long day exploring the vibrant streets of Lagos, my stomach was rumbling, and my mind was set on tasting the city's most iconic dish. The air was thick with the scent of street food, and everywhere I looked, people were gathered around steaming pots, eager for their next meal. I skipped fancy restaurants and found a local buka, thanks to a tip from a friendly security guard who insisted, "That's where you'll find the real flavor." The place was buzzing with laughter and the clatter of plates, a true slice of everyday Lagos life. The aroma inside was pure magic, spices, tomatoes, and smoky goodness mingling in the air. It was impossible not to smile as I watched the chef stir a massive pot over an open flame, the colors and smells promising something unforgettable. I ordered jollof rice, fried chicken, and sweet plantain, dodo. The plate arrived piled high, a feast for the eyes as much as the stomach, with bright red rice, golden plantains, and crispy chicken. The meal was cheap, but the flavor was priceless. Every bite was a burst of spice and comfort, a reminder that the best food often comes from humble kitchens. Each bite was a celebration, smoky, spicy, and full of soul. The rice was perfectly cooked, the chicken juicy, and the plantains sweet and caramelized. The man across from me grinned. Nigerian jollof is number one. We swapped stories over lunch, laughing about travel mishaps and sharing tips on where to eat next. This wasn't just food, it was connection, culture, and community. Around me, strangers became friends, united by a love for good food and good company. My $50 was buying me more than meals, it was buying memories. Every shared laugh and every new flavor was a story I'd carry home. I left the buka full, happy, and even more in love with Lagos. The city had welcomed me with open arms and a full plate. The city's spirit was in every bite, a blend of tradition, warmth, and bold flavors that lingered long after the meal was done. The quest for Yolof was complete and unforgettable. I knew I'd be dreaming of this meal for a long time. Onward, with a satisfied stomach, a bigger heart, and a newfound appreciation for the magic of Lagos street food. With my hunger satisfied, I dove into Lagos's creative soul. First stop, the New Africa Shrine, home of Afrobeats and Fela Kuti's legacy. Even without live music, the place pulsed with history and art. I sipped a cold drink, listened to stories from regulars, and soaked in the revolutionary spirit. Next, I wandered into a free art gallery, walls alive with bold contemporary Nigerian art. The owner shared stories behind the paintings, each one a window into Lagos life. This city doesn't wait for permission to be brilliant. My budget was tiny, but the cultural wealth was immense. As the sun dipped, I headed to Victoria Island, Lagos's polished side. My goal wasn't luxury, but a sunset over the Atlantic. I paid a small beach fee, bought a fresh coconut, and watched the sky explode with color. Families played, music drifted, and the ocean breeze was pure magic. I reflected on my day, from Danfo chaos to this peaceful shoreline. The best things in life really are affordable. As night fell, the beach came alive with laughter and music. I walked the water's edge, feeling content and grateful. My $50 experiment was almost over, but I felt richer than ever. Even in the city's fanciest corner, simple pleasures reigned. Lagos had given me a sunset I'd never forget. For my final Lagos treat, I hunted down suya, spicy, smoky street meat. The Mai suya worked his magic over the grill, and I savored every bite. The city's night rhythm was different, cooler, but still alive with music and conversation. I sat, people watched, and let the day's lessons sink in. Lagos is a city of contrasts, chaos and calm, hustle and heart. My $50 was gone, but I'd gained so much more. Photos, stories, and memories filled my pockets. I'd experienced Lagos not as a tourist, but as a welcome guest, and a piece of this city would stay with me forever. Looking back, my $50 Lagos adventure feels like a dream, but it was real. The budget forced me to look closer, connect deeper, and embrace the city's spirit. The true treasure? The people, their warmth, generosity, and stories. Travel isn't about how much you spend, but how open you are. I left Lagos with a heart full of memories and a new perspective. You don't need a big budget for a life-changing journey, just curiosity and courage. If this story sparked your wanderlust, join me for more adventures. Let's see where the next $50 can take us. Thank you for coming along.